Hey guys, Flawless Crested Geckos here. Will, Audra.
Hi.
Coming to you guys with a much different video.
So basically we wanted you guys to be able to get to know us a little better. We have not disappeared. I know you haven't seen a video in like maybe a week or so.
But we're working.
But we're working. We're working very hard. It's been a lot of stuff.
Oh man.
Tons of stuff going on, trying to get that content out there. But this is a little different. We've come up, well, he's actually, I have to give it to him. This was really interesting because this is actually sort of an idea he had. I was proud of him. It is very sweet, which is not his biggest skill there, baby. Not extremely sweet.
Anyway.
He came up with some questions that was really, really cool. Came up with some questions about us, and so we're gonna see if you like this. This is finding out more about us, about some of our strengths, weaknesses, what our do's and don'ts are, all that kind of good stuff.
Right, and if you guys like this will be a part one. Just like Audra said, strengths and weaknesses, going back and forth between she and I. On different questions and assumptions of each other. So this is going to be pretty
He
fun.
hasn't seen mine and I haven't seen his. So.
Correct. So we're going to blend it together for you guys.
Yeah.
Like, subscribe. Like I said, we haven't been anywhere. We're here. We're plugging along. We got a lot of work on the logistic sides of things. Shipping orders out, international orders. Flawless Exotic Creations, which is a different channel. Check us out there. And plenty of plans going into the holiday season now that the summer is ending.
Super excited. We
are workhorses at the moment. So hang in there, guys. We got plenty of content coming your way. But here we go. So first question is going to be, what's my biggest fear? And that's asking a person that doesn't acknowledge fear too often. But fear has to be there for you to grow. So I would say probably my biggest fear is I would say next to watching our children grow and be unsuccessful in whatever they're doing in life. That's hard as a parent, but for me personally, I would say failure at whatever it is, which is why I'm kind of perfectionist, which is not good in some ways and great in others. For Audra, what is her biggest fear? I would like to say that she would say maybe letting someone down that depends on her. I can see her saying that. Also a fear of hers would be a failure, I would say, as well. That probably draws us together, as crazy as that sounds. But yeah.
I guess I would say not being a good mom. I don't have very many fears. I have maybe like, I don't know, I just think that fear is obviously necessary for life. You have to have a certain amount of fear, but I don't have very many fears at all. So I guess not being a good mom, and I pride myself with always being there for the people that I love and care about. So not being a good mom is one of those biggest things for me, is that I think that as a parent, as a mom, as a dad, it's no longer just your life that you need to be concerned about. You have to be concerned about your kids' lives. So you want to make sure that you're raising kids who are fully functional and happy and healthy in society. So that's my biggest fear, is failing as a mom and failing my family. What do I think that Will's biggest fear is? I'd probably actually say the same thing. He prides himself in being the best father possible. And I think he really excels in that, actually. So his biggest fear is probably shouldn't even be a fear at all, because he's such a good father. So I would say that's his biggest fear, definitely. He fears not being a good father, not raising kids who are able to go forward and be successful and such. So yeah. So I guess you're a failure.
What's my biggest talent? My biggest talent is I operate well under pressure. I actually thrive for the chaos. I think I do extremely well when I have several different things going on at one time. Yeah. Audra's biggest talent, I would say one of her biggest talents is her ability to bring happiness into a room. Her ability to socialize well and see the light side of every situation.
What's my best talent? I don't know. I honestly, all throughout my life, I don't think I've ever had any real talents per se, any talents or special skills. I think I just have a lot of heart. I am extremely passionate about certain things, and when I'm passionate about it, I give, pretty much everything I've got. So I would say, I guess my heart is my biggest talent. What's Will's biggest talent or best talent? His ability to compartmentalize and get things accomplished like that. So I guess his mind. So I guess my heart's my biggest talent and his mind is his biggest talent. He's very analytical. He's very good at focusing in and being able to push through and be determined. So I guess that's more of a characteristic of our person. But I do think that your talents and your skills and stuff are derived through being who you are. So I think talents and skills and characteristics are all kind of synonymous with each other. They come from within.
What's my weakest trait? I think my weakest trait is the ability to forgive. I'm a very no-nonsense person, and I cut people off quickly. I just don't like drama. And sometimes I think that depending on the individual, it may be a phase that they're going through, and you can probably lose some fundamental people in your life by being that way. But I think that's my weakest trait. Audra's weakest trait, I would assume, is it's her weakest and her strongest at the same time, but it's her ability to see the good in everyone. So the people that don't mean well to her, she still, will give the shirt off her back to. And no matter if that's going to hurt her or her family in the long run, I think that's her weakest trait, in my opinion.
What is my weakest trait? I'm scatterbrained. Like my heart's my biggest strength or my best talent, and my mind is the worst. No, I'm very, very, very scatterbrained. I am, I guess, what I would call it's my superpower, and my biggest weakness is I'm ADHD. So I have 50,000 million thoughts in my brain, and my brain's going in hyperdrive, and a lot of those thoughts can't get out of my mouth fast enough. or together enough to be able to have other people understand some of those things, or understand the stories and or the things that I'm telling them. So I would say that's probably my weakest. That, and I tend to overbook myself, I guess you would say. So yeah, I would say that's probably my biggest weakness. What is Will's biggest weakness? Compassion. He's not very sensitive type of person. He's very what would I say? Which is, it's a good thing and it's a bad thing, because it's a situation of survival mindset. So he has this just absolutely innate ability to push forward regardless of who's with him or without him. So as long as in his mind, he's very set to go forward, and if that means, you know, having to separate himself from people that he was friends with or acquaintances with, then that's what he's gonna do. And that to me is a strength and it's a weakness, because you sometimes find that some of those, you know, people that do kind of need that compassion and do need like that sensitivity, and you kind of hurt people's feelings by doing that sometimes. So so I think that's probably his biggest weakness. Again, it's sort of like a double-edged sword, because you don't want to be too sensitive like me. I'm sensitive, I'm very compassionate, and a lot of times people run over me because of that. And I give and give and give, and like Will, he's able to set good boundaries. So I think that's probably like I say, I think sometimes he sets such a thick boundary that you have a hard time breaking in. But what you do, it's all good.
Okay, let's get some fun stuff. Some fun, sad stuff. Question 4. What's my favorite pastime? I'm gonna say my favorite pastime was spending time with my grandfather. My grandfather passed actually on his birthday, October 2nd, with colon cancer. He was he's a person, the male figure, father figure in my life that raised me. Extraordinary man, extraordinary person. There'll never be another person like him. I strive to be just a smidget of the man he was. Definitely see him watching me from above. Extraordinary. I would say, what's Audra's favorite pastime? And it's weird because I think heartache kind of builds a strong bond between us. But I believe she's going to mention her mom as well. Her mom was fundamental in her life. She showed her what a woman is supposed to do, how a woman's supposed to take care of her family, how a woman is independent, strong, fierce, all at the same time. You know, can be loving, but be seen as a woman not to be messed with. She definitely holds her mom on a pedestal, so I'm gonna say that she's probably gonna say that as well. And her mom passed away some years ago as well. But somewhere in there, you know, we find love and heartache, and we hold the ones we love close. I think that draws us together.
I don't know, I guess I would say vacations with my mom, maybe. I would say that is probably my favorite pastimes. There was one vacation that we went on. It's actually our last vacation that we went on, and it was just me and her, and or she and I. Bad grammar. She and I, but we went to Clearwater, Florida, and she had been there a couple of times before when she was training for classes or whatnot. She was a very driven person, and she took me back, and we went to Clearwater, Florida before it was all like commercialized and stuff. Because last time I saw Clearwater as an adult, it was the actual strip mall, I guess, little community of little stores there were gone, and there was this big high rise, and I was like, oh, it breaks my heart. But there was a restaurant there that we went to, and there was also this little store that I actually still have some of her clothes from. We went and shopped around and enjoyed ourselves, and it was a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful vacation. And then my mom also took me in, along with different people at different times during my childhood. She took us to Disney World. So Disney World holds a very special place in my heart, specifically because we had so much fun. So I guess really those are a couple of my favorite pastimes. I think one of the other favorite pastime that I can remember is just in the mornings, like on Saturday mornings when I didn't have to go to school as a teenager or whatever. My mom would come and jump in the bed with me and wake me up, but it was always like she would lay there with me for a little bit, and we would kind of talk about whatever, just enjoy the morning, the sun coming in and stuff like that. So I would say that's probably my favorite pastime in my life. That and I guess the birth of my child is probably, those two things are my favorite, like, memories. So yeah, as far as Will is concerned, pastime, I would say anything to do with his kids, any special events they've had, and meeting me, duh. No, I'm just kidding. Probably anything to do with his pop. That would probably be some of his favorite pastimes. So yeah, that's it.
What's your favorite childhood memory? My favorite childhood memory was 5th grade. I grew up in a very, very urban neighborhood in Newark, New Jersey, and it was not very culturally mixed, and the mindset in the area where I grew up was, I don't know, it's very depressing. Everyone carried this mindset on them where they never saw themselves doing anything or getting out of the hood or doing anything with their lives. And I had a teacher who was amazing. I mean, this lady saw no color, I was in the gifted and talented programs all through school. I was salutatorian. I was extraordinary in sports, all that good stuff. But this lady, she really stood out. And her name is Miss Ward. She was a teacher of mine, came to my house several times to meet my parents, which never happened, expressing how smart and educated I was. And come to find out, she was well off, didn't have to work, but she spent her time teaching in the inner city, full of troubled youth. She saw our living arrangements and everything, and it was no worse than everyone else. Projects or condensed living situations, long story. But anyway, ended up, she took us to Atlanta to the Olympics. Me and my brother, we went down with our teacher down to the Olympics. Paid for everything, I don't remember the conversation she had with my mom to get us to kind of go, but I don't think my mom was very, against it at all. But she basically brought a childhood experience to me that changed me forever. It got me to be able to see the world outside of the view of a young black man in the hood, thinking that was all that was there for you, and those were the fence and vices that surround you. Audra's childhood memory, I think one of her childhood memories is gonna be stemming back to the time that she spent with her mom. She has so many memorable moments with her mom, and her mom passed before she turned 18, so it's very harsh on her. So I know that's sad, but she has some great memories of her.
What's your favorite childhood memory? Anything to do with my mom. In 2004, my mom passed away. She was a neonatal intensive care unit nurse, and actually also was a flight nurse on our Spartanburg Regional Healthcare System. Has in Spartanburg, South Carolina, they have a medevac helicopter, and in 2004, July of 2004, it crashed and killed everyone on board, and my mom was the flight nurse that particular shift. So I think probably any of the memories that have to do with my mom, she was my best friend, that would definitely be my favorite childhood memories. Just being with her, anything to do with her. As far as Will's favorite childhood memories, I'm gonna say anything to do with his pop. It's kind of the same, I guess, concept. He passed away, and so he doesn't have him anymore, and I think anytime you're as bonded, I guess, to a person as we were to our my mom and his pop, I think those memories always outweigh anything. So I would say that's probably his favorite childhood memories, anything to do with his pop, because I really don't know anything really particular, because we obviously grew up in, we did not grow up together. He's from New Jersey, I'm from North Carolina, and we didn't meet until our late 20s. So I do think that, that's a good thing. That's a good thing, because I think you get to a point in your life where you kind of know what you don't want, and then you kind of do. You kind of figure it out. And I think we met, I was 28, so none of his childhood did I get to see or anything, but so I wouldn't know anything specific per se. He's told me, like, we've had conversations about different things we did in our childhood, but I don't know what his favorite, like, specific memory is. So I'm gonna say anything to do with his pop, I would say.
If I could change one thing about the world, what would it be? I would change, I don't know, I think I would try to see if I can change people to be transparent. I think you can kind of save a lot of time with people in general, and time in life, if you know people's intentions at first glance. So transparency with people, to hopefully know their intentions. Audra would probably say one of them save the world responses. If she could take all the negativity out of the world, take all the wrongdoing, which again, we were in law enforcement for years, but take all the wrongdoers out of the world, give them what they have coming to them, and leave the good people and genuine people here to do their good deeds.
Racism, I would absolutely that would be gone, period. All that hate does nothing but hate never solves anything. So I would say racism, because it's absolutely disgusting. So yeah, as far as Will, if he could change one thing about the world, I'd probably say that, I'd probably say he'd probably say around the same thing. So yeah, that's
So there you guys have it. If you guys like this content or this type of content, comment down below. Also in your comments, comment part 2 if you would like to see another part.
I like these videos, they're fun.
Yeah.
I think I said in my little part that he hasn't seen yet that well, I guess he does now. But that I like to see different people and how they act, and You know, what is it about you that makes you tick? You know, what is it about you that makes you different and makes you stand out? Or, you know, because it takes all kinds of kinds to make up this world. So it's fun to find out, like, the people that you follow, that you like, that you know, kind of feel like you might relate to.
Right, different walks of life.
Yeah, different walks of life.
Definitely. And like I said, we do this full time. It's a full time commitment from the both of us, on so many different levels, behind the camera and behind the scenes, that we make all of this work and bring things full circle. But hopefully you guys really enjoyed this, and we got plenty of different type of content coming. But it's flawless. Crested Geckos. Will, Audra, we out.